When people talk about the saddest character in God of War, one name almost always comes up first: Kratos. And honestly, for good reason. Kratos' story is built on tragedy. Long before he became the Ghost of Sparta, he was a Spartan general who would do anything to win. In a moment of desperation, he called upon Ares for help, unknowingly setting himself on a path that would destroy everything he loved. Through Ares' manipulation, Kratos ended up killing his own wife and daughter. The moment he realized what he had done changed him forever. No matter how many gods he defeated or how powerful he became, he could never undo that mistake. The ashes of his family were literally bound to his skin, serving as a constant reminder of the worst moment of his life. And things only got worse. The gods he served betrayed him, the people he trusted used him, his quest for revenge consumed him and ultimately led to the destruction of Greece itself. And by the end of the Greek saga, Kratos had lost almost everything. And what makes the story truly sad isn't just what happened to him, it's the guilt. Years later, in the Norse lands, Kratos is still haunted by his past. He rarely speaks about it, but every decision he makes is shaped by fear of becoming the monster he once was. He's just terrified that his son will see who he truly is, and terrified that Atreus will follow in the same path. Even when he's trying to be a better man, he's constantly fighting against the weight of his own history. And that's why many fans do easily say Kratos, but in my opinion, I really don't think it's Kratos. Well, for starters, there's Faye. Even though she appears very little in the game, her story is surprisingly heartbreaking. Faye knew things that almost nobody else did. She understood the prophecies. She knew that Kratos and Atreus would one day go on a journey that would change the fate of the realms. And yet, she carried those burdens mostly by herself. Imagine knowing pieces of your family's future and understanding that you won't be around to see how it ends. Despite that knowledge, she spent her final years trying to prepare Kratos and Atreus for the challenges ahead. She wasn't focused on herself, she was focused on them the whole time. Everything she did was meant to help her husband and her son become the people they needed to be. By the time the story begins, Faye is already gone, but her influence is everywhere. Every step of the journey exists because of her. In many ways, she sacrificed her own chance to see the future she worked so hard to create. Then there is Brock and Sindri. At first, they seem like some of the lightest characters in the entire series. They're constantly arguing, making jokes, and helping Kratos through his adventure. But beneath all that humor is one of the most tragic stories in Ragnarok. Years before the events of the game, Brock died. Unable to accept losing his brother, Sindri searched desperately for a way to bring him back. Eventually, he succeeded, but not completely. A piece of Brock's soul was missing. Sindri never told him this truth. For years, he carried that burden alone. And then just when the brothers finally start repairing their relationship and growing closer together, disaster strikes. Brock discovers the truth about what happened to him. But even on top of this, shortly after, he's murdered by Odin that was disguised by Tyr. It's one of the most shocking moments in the entire game, but makes it even more painful is what happened to Sindri. After spending years trying to save his brother, after sacrificing everything for him, Sindri loses Brock anyway. The cheerful, optimistic dwarf we've known to love throughout the whole series completely breaks apart. By the end of Ragnarok, he's consumed by grief and anger, and it's absolutely heartbreaking to watch. But despite all of these tragic stories, I still believe the saddest character in God of War is Baldur. And that's because Baldur suffered in unimaginable ways. When Freya learned a prophecy that foretold Baldur's death, she did what any loving mother would do, and she tried to protect her son. Using powerful magic, she made him invulnerable. But there was a terrible cost. Baldur could no longer feel anything. Not pain, not pleasure, not warmth, not cold, no hunger, not comfort, absolutely nothing. And at first, that might not sound bad, but think about it for a second. Imagine never feeling the warmth of sunlight, never enjoying your favorite food, never feeling a hug, never feeling rain on your skin, never experiencing comfort, excitement, happiness, or relief. For over a century, Balder lived like this, a prisoner in his own body. And the worst part is that it was done by the person who he loved most. Freya believed she was saving her son, but from Balder's perspective, she had taken away his ability to truly live. Over time, the isolation destroyed him. Every year made him more desperate, more frustrated, and even more broken. By the time we meet him in God of War, Balder is chasing power over glory. He's chasing something much simpler. He just wants to feel again. He just wants to feel again. Simple as that. This is what makes this story so tragic. Balder isn't even evil for the sake of being evil. He's a man who spent more than 100 years trapped in a nightmare that nobody around him could fully understand. Everything he does stems from that suffering, and when he's finally freed from the curse, when he can finally feel again, he doesn't get a second chance. He dies. No new beginning, no new opportunity to rebuild his life, no chance of experiencing the world that spent over a century longing for. For me, that's what makes Balder's story and, well, Balder the saddest character in the whole God of War series. Kratos lost his family. Faye sacrificed her future. Brock and Sindri lost each other, but Balder lost the ability to truly live long before he even lost his life. All right, on that lovely and happy sad note, what do you actually think though? Who is the saddest character in God of War? Let me know in the comments below. And, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.
I will parade your cold body from every corner of every realm and feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
He saved your life.
He robbed me of everything. Everything. You were just an animal. Passing on your cruelty and rage, you will never change.
And you do not know me.
I know enough. Does he?
Boy, listen close. I'm from a land called Sparta. I made a deal with the god that cost me my soul. I killed many who were deserving, and many who were not. I killed my father.
That was your father in hell. Is this what it is to be a god? Is this how it always ends? Sons killing their mothers? Their fathers?
No. We will be the gods we choose to be. Not those who have been. Who I was is not who you will be. We must be better.
Well, guess we're the bad guys now.
In her eyes, yes. But she could never make that choice. We should finish this journey while I still have strength.